Today we discussing the VLF Foundation's implementation of SAP information systems within the hospital. The management team was able to overcome the diversity and complications of the current hospital system to successfully implement ERP within their business structure. The VLF management handled the transition within much professionalism by assigning 18 of their own staff and 14 consultants to design the specialist system to cater for hospitals' unique information systems. Now we will cross to Head of Management. Rachel, what did the management team at VLF do?
The management team carefully planned to use the effectiveness of SAP to accommodate their needs. VLF management team did an excellent job at ensuring all staff knew the reasons for and the benefits of the implementation of the system. They were able to ensure each staff member that there would be help along the way to adjust to the new system. We were able to deal with the issue by employing an intermediary to relate and convince staff to get on board. We paid significant attention to the importance of effective change management by implementing a learning-based strategy to ensure all staff were familiar with and accepted the new system. Training sessions and 24/7 help desks were among such initiatives run by management. VLF used preventative controls. Not only did they install SAP modules, but hired physicians and assistive personnel to physically help employees with the system. Overall, management communicated, trained and assisted staff in such a way that SAP implementation was able to improve all departments.
Now we will cross to nurses Michelle and Delasha. What do you two think you could have done differently?
They could have gradually implemented the system so that we'd have time to adjust and adapt to it really. It was something like turning a switch on and off. We went to sleep with a paper-based method and woke up paperless. Everything was electronic. In the ER that day, I estimate the waiting time for the patients was about 4 to 5 hours. It was a pretty drastic change. For instance, I assisted in an appendectomy case for 20 minutes, but then it took 6 hours for the doctor to put the clinical input into the SAP method, thus delaying the patients. About 30 emergency patients were given medical attention that day, but we could not enter the information into SAP. It took us almost 3 months to catch up with those cases. The first day really was chaotic. It was like crawling when we're used to running. A phased approach would have been definitely a lot better.
I definitely agree with Michelle here. It was definitely very dramatic. Although the Big Bang approach was actually identified as the most appropriate for VLF, I think the ERP switch should have actually taken place on a different day. Obviously not the New Year's Day. I believe it should have taken place maybe on just a regular business day during regular business hours. And I think that some of the delays that you stated earlier could have been avoided.
Do you think the staff had sufficient training?
Many of us struggled to use the system on the day because we found it hard to remember all the things that we learned during the training sessions. This is mainly because the training sessions were conducted within 2 months of the project being launched.
Yeah, definitely. I think the training should have done consistently throughout the entire project development, really.
We also have Dr. Ahn, Head of Neurology. Could their change management strategy be used in another hospital?
As the technological advancement rapidly progresses, for other hospitals not to implement SAP programs would put them at a disadvantage, meaning slow process times, high costs, and excessive manual labour. Unlike many industries, hospitals require highly specialised programs and much customisation. This could hinder other hospitals to adopt to the SAP modules. If they adopt the change management plan our hospital here at VLF have managed to implement, the higher chance of successful execution. VLF staff are very hesitant and resistant to the drastic change happening, but addressing a few key components of our change management plan, such as recognising the change in the broader business environment, developing the necessary adjustments our company's needs, training our employees on the appropriate changes, and winning on the support of the employees with the persuasiveness of the appropriate adjustments. Thanks to the new system in place, our process and handling of information became much more efficient and cost minimising, and the new format provided a much more secure method of protecting our patient information. As a hospital that has been through the change, I highly recommend a change to SAP programs.
Currently, there are significant benefits for organisations, including the hospital workforce, to implement the SAP information systems. Such systems integrate functions and standardise organisational processes that were previously dispersed and diverse, which in turn enhances efficiency and effectiveness. The implementation of SAP enables firms to reduce transactional costs of the organisation and improve productivity, profitability and customer satisfaction.